Welcome everyone to Wise-ish, your daily power boost for the day. Hope that you are keeping well. Not only that I hope, I know you are. You must, we have to. One of the biggest things that people have been telling me about is sleep issues. And I've been telling them, I'm right with you. I have no idea to some extent what time of day it is. Sometimes even my mother will get up at 7 o'clock in the evening and she'll say, is this morning? Is this evening? And even I get confused. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Is it morning or is it evening? And especially if outside, the temperature of the weather just seems like universal. Like it's not light, it's not dark. You just don't know. But anyway, lately I've been hearing a lot about the importance of sleep and good routine. And I'm going to sit in front of you not as a sleep expert, because I'm not. I'm somebody that doesn't really go off of a lot of sleep. I don't really like sleeping. I'm sure that's got to be karmic. I talk to about 98% of the people and they look at me like I'm the one with the issue. And they're like, you've got to sleep. You have to sleep. It's the most important thing. You have to heal yourself with sleep. And I lay there and I try and I try. Even though my body is laying down, my intellect, the awareness of the soul is alert. And I'm thinking about spiritual ideas, creative ideas. Ever so often, folks will come into my consciousness and I'm wondering, how are they doing? What can I do to be of better service to them? And then ever so often my intellect might go off in a tangent in somewhere it doesn't really need to go. Very rarely it does that because I've really disciplined my thinking ability. So I pretty much internally try my best to stay as focused as I can. But when it comes on to the sleep thing, I'm just like at a loss. It's not that I'm suffering, it's just there's a place inside of the soul that I go. And I've literally found myself there over and over again. Since I am a soul, and the energy of the soul is eternal, immortal, imperishable, and light, and the soul never sleeps because it's energy. The body needs rest because there's cells and there's blood and all of these things are moving around. And if the soul is constantly sending signals and neurons to do this, go here, do this, jump, sit, don't jump, eat, don't eat, walk, run, then, the body is going through a wear and tear. And so definitely it needs to sort of settle, which is why even if you sit and do breathing exercises, it's good for the body. If you even go sometimes doing yoga, actually when you do hatha yoga, it's good for the body. If you do, I know exercise, I can't say that because I don't exercise much. I've been doing my morning routine, but I don't want to tell you something that I'm not doing. But I do know exercise is also very, very good for you. But more than anything else, they always tell me, sleep. So some experts say you need at least 8 hours. Some say you need at least 6. They say if you get less than 6 hours regularly, this is not good in the long run. And so what do we need to rest? Well, some friends of mine, they've brought me melatonin as one thing. I've heard that you can take a half a teaspoon of nutmeg and boil it as a tea and drink it before you go to bed. For those of you who are not vegans, a glass of milk, preferably warm milk, actually helps with a little bit of turmeric in it, actually calms you down and soothes you. Another thing that people do to help them go to bed is that they listen to apps that give them some sort of a metrics or vibrational frequency to help you to slow down the beta waves in your brain and to bring you to a sense of calm. There are scents that you can put up in your room that actually create an aura, a very aromatic vibration and energy that makes you relax and feels calm. It's important to have a comfortable mattress and even more comfortable pillow. I have neither of the two, but they do say that it's important. But it's also very, very vital to take at least, if you can't find more than that, 5 minutes to just sit in silence in meditation before you turn in. To do a check with how your day went for the day. What did you think? What were some of your choices? How did you do in your relationships? Was there anything that you could do better? I suspect that if every night you go to bed at night, not putting in account how you were that day before, you might be rolling over things and experiences that, you didn't feel so good about. And then because you're sort of in denial or you're not courageous or honest enough to see yourself so that you could make a cure, you go to bed with that heaviness. So when you go to bed a little bit with that heaviness, you also wake up with that heaviness. And getting out of the bed feels like a really hard thing to do. But when you go to bed lightheaded with a light frame of mind, feeling like, okay, I did the best that I could today and I'm handing everything over to the divine before I fall asleep. And another thing that's really great that I do at nights before I go to bed, I actually always listen to classes and things that really inspire my intellect. That might be my reason though why I don't fall asleep very much, because I love to learn. I love to learn about great things that move people forward and give them inspiration and empowerment, but it's what it's doing for me. So even listening to things that inspire you, please don't, go to bed with that heaviness. And I remember the other night we were doing something together and had seen the news or something, or we just watched something, and when we turned everything off, we looked at each other and said, let's not do that again. Because the energy just didn't inspire, didn't teach me anything. We didn't feel like anything was fragrant for the spirit. And so we went into the meditation room, sat there for a little bit, or sat up before we went to bed and just said, I realize that's not what I want to do. And so please be mindful and check yourself. And please remember how powerful and how important your life is on the planet, especially at this time. So yes, physical sleep is important, but mental sleep even more so. So I want to talk about that. Mental sleep is where you put a pause on waste or negative thoughts. Whenever you choose to put any of these like negative ideas, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of anger, thoughts of fear, thoughts of expectation, thoughts of blaming, complaining, criticizing, judging people, would you believe that when you choose to not entertain those kinds of thoughts, you're giving your mind, you're giving your soul mental rest? So the less waste and negative thoughts you have inside of your consciousness, the less sleep you'll need. You won't feel heavy. Heaviness comes because of waste thinking. And when you do a lot of waste thinking, you want to sleep it off. I don't want to look at myself. I don't want to deal with myself. I don't want to be honest or open with who is living in me. And so sleep sometimes helps us to bypass it, but it takes a very, very long time for really the soul to mend because of sleep. The best way for the soul to really mend and find its power and its health is to think wisely, think lightly, think purely, and think peacefully. All right, so now let's see what our blessing will be for today. You are the one who is a constant embodiment of power. Perfect. And you remain free from anything wasteful through the art of keeping your mind constantly useful. Thank you. That was a great one. Keeping your mind constantly useful. The art of keeping your mind useful, which means not idle. Thank you so much for joining us on Wise-ish, where a little bit of wisdom will go a long way. Remember, no one can take away your happiness unless you give that up. And maybe we really are here, each and every one of us. We are here to practice loving each other the same. Have a lovely day today. Take care.